Shout out to Man of Toastman on Twitter for helping me come up with a title for the series where I talk about non-Godzilla kaiju. So, I didn't grow up with Gamera. I actually didn't know he was a thing until about 12 years ago. I stumbled across him one day and thought, a giant fire-breathing turtle that can fly. I'm all over it. I watched the first film a few times. It's your typical kaiju movie and a decent introduction to the character. Some of his later films are a little goofy, which almost turned me off to the series, which sounds ironic coming from me, seeing as I grew up with this. But I caught wind of a trilogy that rebooted the Gamera series and became intrigued. I gave all 3 movies a watch, and wow, these are some good movies. Like, not just good kaiju movies, but good movies in general. So good that I'm gonna spend my next 3 videos covering the Gamera trilogy, starting today with Gamera, Guardian of the Universe. A ship carrying plutonium comes in contact with a mysterious moving atoll. While an investigation goes underway to find out what it is, a bird expert helps with another investigation involving the disappearance of villagers on Himigame Island. It's soon discovered that flying, man-eating creatures are the culprits. An obelisk on the atoll reveals... Hang on. Okay, you're gonna need to remember that word because they say it a lot in the first 20 minutes or so. An obelisk reveals that the monster that came from the atoll is the last hope, Gamera, and the birds are the shadow of evil, Gauss. Okay, so it's your typical 2 giant creatures who fought each other eons ago have been reawakened and are destined to fight again story. It's fitting for the genre. I don't recall any previous Gamera films exploring this storyline. But like I said, I didn't grow up with this series, and it's been a minute since I've seen the Showa film, so correct me if I'm wrong. Either way, I'm intrigued. And yes, I am trying to get my hands on that Gamera box set. I'm holding off for a sale at Barnes & Noble or something. First we meet Yoshinari Yonemore, who charted the course leading to the atoll and is determined to help insurance representative Naoya Kusanagi with the investigation. Mayumi Nagamine is the bird expert hired by Inspector Osako to learn more about Gauss. Finally, there's Kusanagi's daughter Asagi, who forms such a strong telepathic bond with Gamera that she actually endures his injuries. Now that is something I haven't seen before. We've seen female characters having telepathic bonds with kaiju, yes, but they've never actually felt their pain. I think that's really cool. Kind of like a voodoo thing going on there. At one point, it's briefly hinted at that Asagi and her dad don't spend a whole lot of time together. The good old dad works a lot and doesn't have time for his family thing. I think this could have been expanded on just a bit more. I say this because there's a moment towards the end where Asagi needs her dad's support to help Gamera, and I feel like it could have had a bit more impact if we knew more about their story. Overall though, these are really good characters. Well casted, well performed, and interesting enough to keep me invested in the story. Side note, Inspector Osako kinda just disappears partway through the movie. I mean, he served his purpose and he probably would have just gotten in the way if he had stayed longer, but I liked him, he was kinda funny. Oh well. So from what I gathered when I first looked into the series, Gauss is to Gamera as Ghidorah is to Godzilla, the arch nemesis. I like that the trilogy starts off with a familiar enemy, even if he does look a bit goofy at first. Gamera, on the other hand, looks great from the start. He looked okay before, but now he looks even better. It's an updated, modern look that stays true to the original design. Can't ask for more than that. When Gauss grows to full size, he looks great too. Definitely a lot better than his first appearance in Gamera vs. Gauss. There he looks kinda mean, but not very threatening, whereas in this film, he looks like a bloodthirsty demon, which is exactly what he's meant to look like. And when the final battle comes, it's everything you could ever hope for in a kaiju film. Buildings get crushed, blood is shed, body parts get blown off, it's just wonderful. Well-paced and fun to watch from start to finish. That can actually be said about the entire film. If you've never seen a Gamera film before, I highly recommend watching this one. You won't be disappointed. definitely one of the best kaiju films out there. That does it for this week, but next week I will be discussing the second film in the Gamera trilogy, Attack of the Legion. Make sure you're subscribed, and be sure to hit that like button if you had a good time with me here today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.